I'm so excited. I went swimming today for the first time in almost 6 months. I used to swim almost every day because there is a pool where I live. Unfortunately, it's really a high chlorine pool because there's always a lot of little kids and babies and things like that, especially during the summer. And so I know that the skin is the largest organ in the body and it absorbs everything. And chlorine is not great to absorb. And so I actually stopped swimming. Um, the doctor cleared me to swim, even in a chlorine pool. I still am not so sure it's so great for me, but I really miss swimming. And I do exercise. I go on the treadmill. I'm trying to do my yoga again. I walk the dog, but I really miss swimming. And so I found a 24-hour fitness place not too far, about 10 minutes away. And they had a pool. It is still a chlorine pool, but it's a much better maintained pool in terms of there are no children. And so I went and swam about 500, a little bit more than a quarter mile. And it's the first time I've swum in a while, other than when I went camping. And then I sat in a sauna, and it just felt great. So I'm working on my arms. The only problem is that the chlorine ruins my hair, and I can't get a swim cap that keeps the water out. If I can get it on my head, it's loose enough that the water gets in. If it's the kind that will keep the water out, I can't get it on my head. For example, I brought a brand new swim cap and literally could not put it on my head. It was so tight. And so I figured this, all this fruit that I have around can serve a second purpose. So I got a cantaloupe and a couple of oranges, which I happen to have around, and this is my swim cap. So I figure if I leave the swim cap on the cantaloupe and the oranges for a few days, next time when I go swimming, I'll be able to get it on my head. Anyway, just wanted to share that swimming felt wonderful. And I'm still going to do the treadmill because I need to sweat. But I was really, really, the swimming felt wonderful. And then the sauna afterwards felt really good too. So one more thing to feel good about as I wait for. I called the doctor's office today because they were supposed to authorize another ultrasound, and I haven't heard from the ultrasound people. So I called the doctor's office and reminded them that if they wanted me to have the ultrasound before I came to see them, that they needed to authorize it. But in the meantime, I walked the dog. Today was an exercise day. My boat is a mess, everything is a mess, but today was an exercise day. So I walked the dog a couple of miles, and I swam, and I'm feeling good. One of the hardest things to do after a cancer diagnosis, when you're trying to restore your health, is focusing on your life, not on your disease. And that's not easy to do, especially when your disease is manifesting in a way that is you can feel it all the time, or it's palpable. And in my case, when the lump first appeared, it appeared so quickly, seemingly out of nowhere, and became so large that it was hard to ignore. And I there were months in the first few months since the lump appeared and I started doing all the cleanses in the beginning of the year. My actual biopsy results came back on February 14th, but I had a pretty good idea for at least 6 weeks before that there was something going on. And there were moments when I was first doing the detoxes, and it was really detoxing. It was pretty remarkable, and it was hard to think about anything else, so that it seemed that I was always, no matter what else I was doing, I was kind of acutely aware that my breast seemed to have been taken over by some sort of an alien being, and it didn't really feel like it was part of the rest of my body. It was like my the affected breast was like, well, it's the only way I can describe it, was it just sort of didn't feel like it was part of the rest of my body, and it felt like it was this kind of alien being. And I was always acutely aware of it, no matter what else I was doing. And one of the 20 steps to a healthier life, I don't remember, this is the book, if you can see the 20 steps. Anyway, there's water, juice, vegan food, live food, etc., etc., etc. Listen to yourself, express yourself, laugh more, breathe deeper. But the whole point is to focus on your life, not on your disease. And that, the insight that I had when shortly after my diagnosis, when almost like a mantra, it came to my head, saying, cancer is the symptom, your life is the disease. And I have another video on that I can post at some point, but not focusing on your disease and instead focusing on your life is one of the most difficult things, because there's a very natural tendency to just, look at all the medical things and, oh my God, these are the test results, and what does this mean, and what kind of cancer is this, and it turns out that my reaction was pretty much in line with the Dr. Schultz program, even though I hadn't really read that part yet, which is just, I took all of those results, all of the medical things, all of the things that every time I looked at them just terrified me, and I just put them away, because I knew that no matter what it said, I was going to do this program first and see how it, whether I was able to at least kickstart myself into getting healthier and healthier before before considering any kind of medical intervention. And it's not easy to do when you have, a tumor or a lump that you're aware of, as I was keenly aware of mine. But it turns out that focusing on your life is important, because if you focus on the disease, then all you're doing is sort of disease management, and your life is staying roughly the same. So I had to change my diet. I went raw, vegan, organic, gluten and sugar free, and I had to change, get more exercise, turn off the news, stop being hunched over a computer all the day, and start doing things that I really enjoy doing. And one of the things that I gave up for quite a while was swimming, because I didn't want to, once the lump appeared, I got a little freaked about being in a chlorine pool. Today, I decided that I was going to go swimming, and I went and signed up. I have, through Medicare, and this is great if any of you are on Medicare, Medicare has a Silver Sneakers program where they will pay the cost of a gym membership at participating gyms. So I found a participating 24-hour fitness place not too far from me, and it has a beautiful pool. And then there was the issue of I really had some concerns about absorbing chlorine through the skin when I swam, because chlorine, obviously, yes, it kills all the germs, but it also pretty much it's not good for the body. And your skin, being the largest absorbent organ on your body, absorbs everything. So I stopped swimming in December, and I really missed it, except for 3 days when I was camping up north and they had a non-chlorine pool, and I swam then. But my doctor did clear me to swim, and so I went swimming today. So it felt great to swim today. It felt, I mean, I've been doing a lot of exercise. I've been doing a couple of miles on the treadmill. I'm not wild about a treadmill, but I can't really run on concrete anymore. And I won't call it running. It's fast walking, slow jogging. But I'm up to 2.5 miles, and not at my old pace when I used to be a runner in my 30s, these 40 years ago. So now but as long as you work up a sweat, it doesn't matter whether you're running or not. And one of the things that is in the Schultz program is working up to where you're sweating an hour a day. So now I'm up to about a half hour, 45 minutes on the treadmill. I walk the dog a couple of miles a day, which is good for the dog too, but it's not quite as fast a pace. And I'm finally back after my 2-year hiatus without doing yoga. Don't ask me why I stopped doing it when I needed it the most, but I did, because there's not a whole lot of space to do yoga on the boat. Though there is I do have some pictures of some boat yoga, but it's a little bit staged. Most of the time when I want to do yoga, I have to go up to the community room. And so I'm trying to get my balance back physically, exercise, swimming, walking, yoga, and trying to have fun. And I'm happy to say that around a month ago, for the first time since the lump emerged, I got to where I couldn't feel, not that I couldn't feel the lump, I couldn't feel my breast all the time. And it went back to just feeling like a breast, a normal breast. But it stopped feeling like an alien being had inhabited my body. And instead, I didn't have to think about it all the time. And that was this huge relief, to not constantly be worrying and thinking, oh my God, what is that? Does that mean, is it spreading? Is it whatever? And especially when you're doing the detoxes, and you're detoxing through all of the ways that you detox, through your bowels, through your kidneys, through your skin, through your lymphatic system. And the detoxing sometimes is, it can be, you can feel it. Or you'll have a rash or something like that. So, but today I don't want to talk about detoxing. Today I want to talk about how wonderful it feels to just enjoy life occasionally, and not just be thinking about, oh my God, am I reading everything? Have I drunk my 128 ounces of liquids today? And et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I did just finish a 5-day liver cleanse, and I feel good. I'm taking a couple of days in between, and then starting on, I forget what else I've got in the next week or so. And I'm trying to find a little bit of time every day to enjoy life. And if you're not enjoying it, then it's not enjoyable. So enjoy life, tell more jokes. Don't forget, make fruit. I don't know exactly what you would call this, fruit mannequins, uh, and remember that remember to have fun.